Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
What does the nanny do?
Okay, so we're done.
Goodbye.
You. Shut it off.
Do not twist my words. Do not make me a victim, sweetie.
Just look at the mountain. That's what you saw that day.
Just the knife in the kidneys over all these years and the sacrifices that I made to love you.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
The season finale of season 4.
Finally,
Finally.
the finale.
Finally, it is happening to me. We are leaving the nest.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the nest. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I believe we are going to start with a little bit of an update from something that someone shared with us.
Oh, yes.
A comment.
We have a little corrections corner.
Yeah, from a Patreon listener
Yeah.
who shared what with us, darling?
Cody perhaps is not wearing a Prada shirt. Perhaps it is Guess. The brand logo looks pretty much exactly the same. However, Prada is the one that usually puts like the metal triangle logo on things. And I think that Guess puts the metal logo on like purses and certain items, but not on everything like Prada does. So it's still up in the air. But either way, it's a more expensive shirt than what he is used to wearing or what we
Right.
used to see him in. So
Yeah, and when I did a Google search for men's shirts with Guess logos, it was big, like, graphic tee kind of vibes, like a Guess t-shirt.
like gaudy in your face, giant graphic, as opposed to like a metal emblem.
Yes.
I don't know.
So, who knows? But I mean, I can see why someone would say that.
It's probably most likely not Prada. It probably is something different, like Guess or whatever. But we did try to look up the shirt and did not find it. So if anyone does,
Oh,
please
yeah.
share,
Yeah.
because I would be very curious.
Going back in time to find a tan, long-sleeved, button-up Guess shirt?
I don't know. It looked like a Banana Republic. I'm probably going to go on a jungle safari type of shirt, but I don't know. Oh,
So back to Leaving the Nest, which is the title of the 11th episode of season 4.
one flew out of the cuckoo's nest. Alwana Logan is flying out of the cuckoo's nest.
Definitely a cuckoo nest with the Brown family. They start the episode with an update from Logan that he's graduating this year. He had been interested in 5 different schools and had narrowed it down to 2, being Southern Utah University, SUU, which I struggled with following a little bit because of the way they were saying SUU. It sounded like there was a C in there to me.
It sounded like there was a C in there because they said it was Southern City, Utah at first, and then like city was in there somewhere. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
very hard to understand them. And also their U's and the V's sounded kind of similar during all of this, so it got complicated.
There's that Utah accent, much like our Minnesota accent.
Minnesota's up
Oh,
in here.
jeez. And so he's looking at Southern Utah University, SUU, and UNLV, which I believe is University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
We're at Janelle's house, and the parents are talking about Logan graduating, and they just want him around still because they need that big bro energy.
Oh, God.
They need that big brother energy around them.
Yeah, they totally do.
What are we going to do without one of our babysitters? Oh, no. The pressure they're putting on this kid because they need this around, like this good influence, this big brother influence around the little kids is just not even fair.
Yeah.
It's just so unfair. There's other big brothers now in the picture that have never had to have that big brother energy or step up. And so I don't think that they'll be able to take on or take over the same role that Logan has done. But to be putting that on him and he's looking forward to his future and all excited about this is just yucky to me.
Yeah, luckily it doesn't seem too intense in the sense that we do hear from the parents throughout the episode that they are trying to be open to letting him make his own decisions and blah, blah, blah. So at least the narrative for the whole episode isn't them being like, don't leave, because like that would be horrible.
Well, they're not coming out and saying that to us, but Logan talks about it and he says that his family is a distraction. We'll get into Logan's view on trying to escape his family, basically.
Escape!
So it's like, okay, they might not be coming across and saying it to the cameras, but obviously he's feeling some sort of pressure for some sort of reason. Cody is worried that the other big kids, the older kids, are going to convince him to go to Utah because they're about to go on this little road trip, and he is worried they're going to convince him of it.
Yeah, Logan and some of his sisters are going to tour Southern Utah University. And it's just such a great opportunity to take a road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip. Janelle and Cody are telling Logan that they're looking to get a big house, a big home, a home big enough to have Logan stay at home if he wanted to. Oh, there might be 6 bedrooms, there might be an office, there might be place for you, Logan. Meanwhile, you're right, he's trying to plan his escape from the family.
They show him on the couch talking a little bit here in the first few minutes, and he seems so dejected. Like,
Logan
I wrote
does?
down, that he just seems very like he's kind of calculating what to say because he doesn't want to come out and maybe say anything bad. But I just get this energy from him that he's like super nervous about making this decision more for other people than for himself. And then Janelle says that she's worried about the Mormon religion ties being severed if he stays in Las Vegas. And she thinks that she maybe hasn't instilled the religion in him enough and that he will cut ties with it.
Which is not the first time we've heard this from Janelle. And, it's interesting to come from her because she doesn't seem to be very, like, outspoken about a lot of things. So for her to care about this, it's like, okay, all right. And Cody tells Janelle, he's a plague kid. So, in Utah, we were, like, ostracized for being polygamous. So if he goes to a school that is heavy Mormon, he might be an outsider there as well. I don't really know how to gauge that because I was not a polygamous child in Utah. And I do know what it's like to feel like an outsider, but I don't know how real that is on like a university campus. Like, I don't know what that means.
Not sure. I can see in grade school and high school feeling that way. Maybe there will be other plague kids at this college, though. So there might be a separate community for someone who is like coming from a family situation like his. So I don't know about that.
Well, also, when you go to college, I'm just imagining, like, it's not like when I went to college, I was like, here's all of my background and here's my family beliefs and here's whatever. It's like, you're starting a new life, like you don't have to be a plague kid. You're literally an adult going into the world. And that's what Logan says. As soon as I'm 18, it's my life. And I was like, yes.
Right.
Amen. Power to the people. Power to Logan.
They show the kids driving to SUU. Logan has a little bit here where he talks about how he is up in the air about being plague himself. And he says that people just assume that since he's from a plague family and he's the oldest of the kids, that he's for sure going to be a plague and that it's been instilled in him completely. Then they cut to Cody again saying that he has anxiety about his religious teachings.
Yeah.
So Cody is saying that he agrees with Janelle about having a little anxiety about this. And then Logan in a separate clip is talking about how he's up in the air about being a plague. So we are getting a wishy-washy little triangle here from everybody about the religious aspect.
On this road trip to go visit Southern Utah University, joining Logan on this adventure, this pilgrimage, is Aspen, Leon, and Maddie. So it's fun to see Aspen actually participating because when the kids went back to Lehigh in a recent episode, Aspen was nowhere to be seen. None of Christine's kids went.
None of Christine's kids were along.
It was kind of fun. I always like seeing Aspen, and she only gets these little blurbs, and it's like, Of course, as we
Probably
come
by
to
choice.
well, and as we come to find out, she was basically being a mother to Christine's children.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit harsh, but
She was having to step up,
Yeah, she was the built-in babysitter, just like Logan.
just like all the older kids, apparently.
Yeah.
They get to SUU, and Sydney, perky Sydney, is going to take them on a tour.
Oh, Sydney.
Logan mentions that she has a conviction for her school. It's very apparent that she likes the school and has a conviction for it based on the tour and her attitude.
God, this language they use.
It was. Logan starts in with my family is a distraction sometimes. My family is a distraction sometimes. He literally said that. He is saying that if he stays around his family, that he doesn't know if he'll focus on college enough because they have this way of drawing him in and distracting him.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, they need him too much. This just put a bad taste in my mouth, and you can tell he's trying to temper what he's saying. He's trying to be respectful and say it in a way that's not, I need to get the fuck away from my family. They expect too much of me, or I'm being used as a babysitter. I don't have a normal childhood. I've grown up too fast. But it's like read between the lines, like what's behind the eyes,
Yeah. They do cut to a moment where they're asking some of the siblings about their thoughts about Southern Utah University. And Leon says, I think it's nice. And Aspen says, it's boring. It's a little hick town.
A little hick town.
Which I love. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Aspen. So good.
I know a thing or two about hick towns.
Well, this is it. We both know a thing or two about hick towns. And yeah, if you have an opportunity to go to school not in hick town, I would suggest taking it. But I also went to school in Hicktown, so, it's okay. Logan talks about the benefits of SUU, how there are smaller classes, and it's out of town. It is gone. It is far away from Vegas, so he's not mad about that.
Far away that he wouldn't be able to drive back there at a moment's notice and be expected to do things.
Yeah, make the kids breakfast before school.
Right.
And oh my gosh, we are having a character return for the season finale.
The revival of Mona!
Mona is back with us. So we have returned to Vegas. The camera crew, the producers have brought us back to the Sin City. The adults are going to meet with Mona and look at a model home in the subdevelopment where they're interested in these properties, where they've told their kids they're getting these properties. They haven't done that yet. But there's the subdevelopment. They're meeting Mona, going to look at a model home. Now, this was an interesting scene because this is the first time we get to see inside what their potential homes will look like.
Grandiose.
Yeah.
Very grandiose.
Very grand for this polygamous family. I do look back on the Lehigh home fondly with kinder eyes, as Moira Rose would say, than I would have in the past. But yeah, it's kind of a shithole. So these homes are literally not. They're like, new builds. They are
Brand
cookie
spanking
cutter,
new.
but they're big. So when they go in, it's very interesting because there's a lot of light. It's well lit, big spaces. The foyer's there's a 2-floor room in the family room and a staircase and all these things. Now, mind you, you can tell everything's builder grade. So everything looks cookie cutter, but it's
very
big.
bright, very open
Yes.
compared to the Lehigh home, which was very closed off, low ceilings, darker.
Yeah.
Just naturally darker, not as much natural light coming in. So I had to laugh. Christine says that she can hear angels singing.
Yes.
That this is ah.
And that is a very important point because that comes up again later in the show. Years down the road, she hears angels singing again.
Oh.
She hears them again. And I don't really want to say too much out loud. It's when they buy property in the future, she's like, oh my gosh, and I got there and the angels were singing. It's oh my God,
This is
girl
something she says.
She's brainwashed. She's like, oh, people are excited. I have enthusiasm too. The angels are singing. Okay, there's not really angels singing. You're just I don't know. There's ways to show enthusiasm without saying the angels are singing. Like, my God.
It makes me think of like a Christmas ornament with a little like cherub looking angel with wings and the trumpet and then the
It's like me on Christmas morning.
yeah. Oh boy.
This house is so big that they're looking at. And when they're going around, there's some voiceovers, blah, blah, blah. Meri is getting into a bathtub to check it for the size, which I love because that's me. I'm getting in the tub. Like,
Right.
I want to know. Is this standard tub? Which tub option is this? Is there a bigger one would be my question. She fit in the tub. It looked perfectly adequate. A nice little garden soaker tub. So Mary's in there and they're, I don't know, someone says something, someone else says something, nobody cares. And then Cody's like, has a voiceover or a couch moment where he says, yeah, Meri, she's always had expensive taste, which is a little foreshadowing for what we get to experience with Meri in the near future.
Yeah. She is just sitting in that tub going, I could totally live in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, girl.
Yep. Like, I could live in that house.
Yeah.
Janelle. Oh my gosh, Janelle. This one's too much.
This
it's
house is too
much. My budget can't afford this house. And Janelle, I mean, you got to admire her desire to want to stick to a budget, to not want to spend money she doesn't have. Those are admirable qualities. It's a little weird because I feel like everyone is leaning into wanting to do this. So it's like, right, like, can we make it work? Which is the theme of the episode. We're going to get into this. They don't know if they can make it work. But it's just classic having these women all looking around bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Oh, everything's so great. And then there's Janelle being like, I don't know that my budget can afford this. And it's like, yeah, I mean, true. I
Debbie
guess.
Downer. I see where she's coming from, and somebody has to be practical in the family. Somebody has to bring it back down to earth and shut those angels up.
Shut
Give
those angels up,
those
Janelle.
angels a punch in the throat and say, quit your singing.
Janelle put duct tape over those angels' mouths and said, shut the fuck up.
We gotta get real here.
We gotta get real, angels.
Angels out of here.
We got no place for angels. I got a budget.
Yeah, she isn't wrong though that
Right.
it is a little it's very nice compared to what they had.
Mhm.
And then you get Cody going on this little rant about how if you don't believe it, if you don't see yourself and envision yourself there, it'll never happen. And he says that he's trying to move their psychology to where they believe that they could be there so that they get there.
Right.
What a dreamer.
He wants the angels to keep singing. He's like, keep singing, angels, keep singing. Keep singing to sweet Christine.
Lull Janelle.
Yeah,
to
lull Janelle.
believing.
Entice her with your beautiful singing.
Who has a harp? Someone start playing the harp. That's all Janelle needs.
Janelle just needs to be touched by an angel. Mona is here to remind us of how they need to move quickly. We need to move quickly because if only one lot sells of the 4 that are right next to each other, then they won't be able to live next to each other. Okay, common sense, but we do need the reminder as a viewer that they're trying to buy 4 lots right next to each other. And even if just one gets swooped up, their dreams are shattered. Those angels will be crying instead of singing.
Weeping.
Weeping angels.
Just weeping.
Weeping. I love how you add. Is there an H in weeping? No.
Weeping.
Weeping.
Like Will
whip.
Wheaton.
Yeah, Will Wheaton. Weeping.
It's kind of like how they forget some letters in Destiny.
In Destiny. Yes. That beautiful Utah accent. And now we're going to transition to a new scene where we're all gathering at Robyn's house. All of the parents, all of the adults are gathering at Robyn's house. They're going to go see prototypes of their jewelry for my sister wife's closet. Oh! Now, I have to admit, Robyn was talking here, and I kind of trauma blocked some of it. So eventually we find out that we're going to the actual jeweler. I thought the jeweler was coming to them, like in the first time we get introduced to baldy psycho freak loser. But Brandon, it turns out, is his name.
Brandon.
But no, they're going to go to his store.
Yep, they're going to go and check the prototypes out, and we find out from Christine that she is very worried about how things will look, and she's worried that she's going to have to lie and say that things look good when she doesn't think they actually do look good.
While Christine is giving us this update into her deep, deep psyche, they're showing us a sketch from Robyn on the graph paper with 2 S's that become a W, which, if no one told you this, you would never get from the sketch on the graph paper.
Never. You would never
The
surmise this.
squiggly lines on the graph paper.
Well, when you look at the W put together, it looks like 2 exaggerated U's with like loops on the ends put together. So it looks like 2 U shapes connected with like loops downward off the edges of the U's. So it's hard to imagine what it would be, how it will be 2 S's, but it's almost like 2 U's on their sides that end up kind of loosely looking like S's.
Yeah. She's playing Liberty with her letters. Once
Very
again,
much so.
someone probably had to say, Robyn, this is what an S looks like.
This is how you write
Robyn,
it.
this is how you spell sister wife. Because that bitch ain't right.
Christine's just, I don't know. Her being so apprehensive about this.
Well, rightfully so.
It shows me that at least one person thought those sketches looked like bullshit and was kind of willing to say it.
Well, yes. And Janelle said that she thought some of them were trite.
Yeah.
So, like,
okay. You're right. She said that, and then we've got Christine putting in a little sliver of doubt here. So, yeah, they kind of were on the fence about this.
Yep. Yeah. Meri's being, I believe, strategically quiet because she's like, of course I need to support this. And so it's just what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And that's that.
I mean, we're matching jeans with her. Yeah. So
I'm still trying to be friends with Robyn. Like, oh, girl, you should not. You should not.
Yeah. So they get there to see Brandon, and he brings out one of the prototypes that we get to see is a ring that is actually 2 bands. That is this W, but when you take the bands apart, it's 2 S's. And then when they come together, it's a W. Sister wives.
Yeah.
And Robyn.
Oh, Robyn. Oh, she's talented. She's touched.
Oh, I know you wrote down this quote, honey.
She's gifted. She says, now, I don't know if everybody wants a sister wife's ring.
Really? Really?
What I love is this is the kind of question you pose to yourself well before you have someone make a prototype for you. Like, that's the entire fundamental flaw with their business is that there's only so many sister wives, and who's going to buy sister wife jewelry?
Part of me wanted to look up, like, what is the percentage of people in this country that are actually living plural marriage? Because I don't know in what fucking world you thought a W and S's and the actual sister wives logo was the way to go. We said this before, maybe hearts that connect that you could be like, give to like a mother-daughter or like friends or I don't know. But what the fuck is this? And then they make some stupid jokes because Cody really loves the ring and thinks it's so cool. Oh, could we get like brother bands like this? Because Brandon says, I could make it bigger in a men's size. And then they yuck it up about maybe we need brother bands. And then Cody gets serious.
Brother husband bands.
And Cody gets very serious and goes, no, that wouldn't work.
Yep.
Like, don't even bring it up. Shut up. Nope.
Shutting
How
that
dare
down.
you.
It's like you were just joking. The universal use of something like a piece of jewelry does not align with sister wives. And so then they start talking about that, how female best friends are like sister wives, but without the husband. So it's like they're piecing this together, but then not connecting the dots that, hello, why would anyone want a sister wife ring?
They just come up with it like in that moment.
In the moment.
Like, oh, sister wives could be for best friends. And she's trying to sell it like by saying, oh, because, when you don't have a sister wife or when you don't have a husband, maybe, then you look to your girlfriends like a sister wife because they help take care of your kids and they help do this. I'm like, no, motherfucker, they do not.
Right. And
Like,
you don't ask for that
what?
anyway. Ugh.
I came back to, in my mind here, just thinking about the stereotypical polygamist, like Mormon family. And I am so sorry, but they're notoriously poor.
Right.
Do you think
Right.
that they're going to be like, oh, I have got an extra like $250, whatever these rings are going to go for, which is probably going to be stupidly expensive for what they are.
Yeah.
2 little pieces of just plain metal. Do you think that they're going to be taking that money to buy themselves sister wife rings? No.
No. They're getting the $15 blue light special ring at Kmart. That's what they're
getting the Cracker Jack box rings so that they can give their kids the popcorn and then that they can use the Cracker Jack box for some storage later. They're not going out and getting a sister wife ring for themselves.
And it was a birthday present from the husband, the Cracker Jack.
Exactly. I'm just imagining
God.
the sister wives of the world coming together. Like, what was that cartoon where they had their rings and they were like the saviors of the planet?
Yeah.
And then they would
Captain
put their
Planet.
rings up.
Captain
Planet. And they would put their rings up and like calling all sister wives.
And then they're all like, we need to collect our EBT to like, everyone can get together and buy a real piece of meat this month. Like,
Meanwhile,
oh my
they
God.
all like literally just fucking hate each other and are in constant competition, but whatever.
Yeah, right? I wouldn't buy my sister wife a piece of jewelry if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Boy. I wrote down, pigs are notoriously poor. And I felt horrible writing that down. But I have done a little deep dive lately myself into FLDS, which I know that they're different from them. But yeah, the poor thing, and then these rings, and then what we find out about some of the jewelry later and how much it costs and how there's like hidden gemstones on the inside of the bands. Come on. Come the fuck on. These guys are nuts. Nuts. We go back to the SUU campus.
Ay, ay.
Yes. I wonder what their mascot is.
I know, we don't find that out.
We're going to say it's the Roaring Roosters.
Okay.
We're going to make it up for them.
I was going to say the rule followers, considering the contrast to our other school later, but the rule following roosters.
Which would make sense because the roosters rule the roost.
Listen, many levels.
Oh my God.
SUU, if you need a marketing team, hit us up.
We're just coming up with this on the fly, just like they came up with Sister Wives best friend rings. Oh my God, Sister Wives means super women?
Oh my God. We can do brother husbands. No, we will not. So dumb.
Oh, Madison very cutely says that Logan is her best friend and that she would miss him if he goes back to Utah.
Yeah, but she wants him to be happy, which is so sweet. And I love actually getting moments like that from Maddie because, how do I say this? I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. So whenever she shows like, I'm a human and I'm able to have empathy for others. God, that sounds terrible. She's got a touch of her dad in her.
It's so interesting because I haven't watched the later seasons and I've been avoiding any of the like press or things that would normally maybe be fed to me because I used to go down their little rabbit hole every now and then, right? Yeah. And I stopped doing that because I'm like, I want to keep like this fresh perspective of watching it like in the moment for the first time. So I don't know that side of her, and everything that I've seen of her up in the show up through now has been her kind of in these cute moments or her being silly and funny, but then also being like a little jokey. And I see so much Janelle when she does things such as pulling the prank on Leon, for instance.
Yeah.
And then moments where she talks very highly of her and Logan's childhood memories together. So I will be curious when this flip happens because I know you and I are very similar and that I'm not going to disagree with you right? So when is this going to happen, and when am I going to start to notice it? I'm so curious.
I'm also curious to see if any of our listeners chime in about this, because it's hard to put your finger on it even. It's not like she's just like a blatant asshole or something. She's really not. But there's just elements of her that I just find unlikable. And I can't put them into words. I will put them into words as the seasons progress. We will see it. And I will be like talking about it.
Oh, and I'm sure I'll notice it too, because just from little like bits that you've told me and like her lifestyle, those people people that you've described similarly, in my mind, they are annoying and self-righteous.
Yes.
So obviously,
I think
at some point I'll see it.
I think self-righteous is a phrase people would use when describing her.
Yep.
Not me.
And I
other
feel like
people.
Leon is like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Leon is very self-righteous to this point, at least. That's what I've noticed about Leon.
And
So,
continues with Leon as well. It gets even worse. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
I'm intrigued.
The teens all grab a sandwich. They get a Sammy. They're sitting around a table at a courtyard or at a food court or something.
In a food court at
Yeah.
SUU,
Yeah.
somewhere on the campus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because they're like finding a table and there's this overhead shot. So I'm like, oh, there's surrounds on a second floor. There's
Balconies.
A balcony.
What?
Ooh, so fancy. Yeah, but the flooring disagreed with the fancy. So anyway, it's fine. The teens are grabbing a sandwich or sitting around talking about how Cody wants them all to stay at home until they're done with school, becoming adults and blah, blah, blah. Which is so funny to hear this from them, considering that we just had a Brown family confessions where McKelty says that Aspen? Aspen says we don't even really see
We
Dad
don't see him anymore.
And that comes up again in this episode. So it's like there's this duality of him saying things like, well, if I have my way. And it so reminds me of like religious people that are not spiritual. They're like dogmatic, right? Where it's like, if I want you to never leave and I want you to be here till you find a husband. It's like territorial and ownership vibes,
And they very much so are seeking his approval. And does this man deserve that? Does he deserve for his children to be scrambling for his approval when he doesn't have the time of day for them? But that's why they're trying to seek his approval, because he's an absentee father at this point. So it is really sad when you get to the brass tacks of it. Is that what they say? I don't know.
Well, let's go with yes, but yeah. Oh God, like
Wouldn't be the
desperate.
first time that I messed up this saying on this podcast.
Desperate for approval from a man who ultimately doesn't care. He's just doing a trope thing.
He just wants the control over them. He doesn't really want them there other than just to have his little minions to control.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to be here, and I'll never see you, but you need to be here.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I feel like everybody, like every child from our generation possibly had that with their dad at some point, where their dad tried to exert some stupid rule or stupid power struggle. And you're like, but why?
Yeah.
Why does this even matter to you?
Because
over
I
something
said so.
dumb.
That was my dad's classic.
Because I said so.
This is my house. And it's like, I understand that if a teenager is pushing back and just being irrational, and you could just be like, I'm done with this because I said so. I can actually understand that. It just sucks when that's a default to being like, I actually am not going to critical think. I am not going to actually explain to you, a person, why I'm concerned about what you're doing or why I'm saying you can't do this thing. You're just going to listen to me, and that's that. And it's like, God.
Because I'm just the leader of this family, and that's the way that it is.
Yeah.
And I am the leader, and I am the prophet of this family.
Yes, the prophet.
Yeah, because each father is the prophet of his household, right?
Yeah.
The leader of
pretty
his
much.
household.
Yeah. I mean, he leads sermons in the family room where all the kids are falling asleep.
And he quite literally made himself the judge and executioner of his family by separating them from their church and being the only one that can preach to them and making himself the prophet that everyone has to listen to. He is so fucking self-centered and delusional. It's crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Logan says that he'll do church for his mom. So he's considering SUU because of his mom and to make her happy, but he's not super into it right now. And all of them kind of laugh a little bit along about the religion, and they kind of all seem like they're over it and separated from it. Didn't it come across that way?
Yes.
Well, except for
Yes.
Leon,
But except for
obviously.
Leon. Like, I know it's just weird because I think Leon, I wasn't paying attention to Leon's reaction at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Maddie and Aspen, and when Logan says that he would continue to do the church aspect of his life for his mom because he knows it'll make her happy, they kind of chuckle butted along, and I got the vibe that they're checked out.
Like, they're like, okay, cool. Like, glad you said that. It'd be like if a sibling said something where you're like, okay, whatever. You know, like, yeah, you're going to do that. Okay.
Yeah. The adults get to a Mexican restaurant of some sort. I did not catch the name. It was
No.
hard to read, but
I didn't
they
either.
get to a restaurant, and of course, it's all of the adults. It's Cody and Robyn, Janelle, Christine, and Meri.
Thank you for telling us who the parents are in this family.
Well,
We're at the end of season 4.
just saying.
I love it. I love it. In case you don't know who these people are, those are the parents in this polygamous family.
Well,
So good.
they do parentify some of the children, so
True.
no.
Yeah, Logan is not actually a father. He just has the responsibility of one.
Oh boy, they go to this Mexican restaurant to have a discussion about the homes.
Yes, they're going to have a
They
talk.
need to have a talk, a serious talk. And my guess is that they're doing it at a restaurant so that they're out of the houses, no children are around. They can have this serious discussion and not have eavesdropping ears,
Oh, little ones listening.
little ones listening.
Okay, yeah.
So they probably each have one of the older children at a home,
Robyn has
being
a
the parent
babysitter.
figure. Yeah.
Robyn couldn't ask any of the other kids. Well, she could ask McKelty, so yeah.
At this point, yeah, McKelty was probably watching her kids pretty frequently still.
Yep.
So Janelle says, we can put down earnest money and do a 30-day contract to hold the homes until we can get financing.
Yes.
But she got some news from Mona that they basically need to do this or they're going to end up losing one of the properties because the builder is getting antsy in his pantsy about getting some earnest money down or something, some sort of promise from them since this is 4 lots that he's holding.
Yeah.
So we got to get serious.
Janelle does not say the term finite resources here, but it's still popped into my head because Janelle loves to say finite resources. We have those finite resources. We only have finite resources. And this is a continued theme for her. We are going to talk about their finite resources. And Janelle makes sure to let us know that they have finite resources.
We get into conversation about why the homes are so important. Yet again, Cody in his interview on the couch looks burnt to a crisp.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is looking fried.
Yeah. He's got the sunglass eyes. The
Yeah, and his
raccoon eyes.
forehead is just burnt to shit.
Yeah.
And his nose is still peeling and red. And he says that he is anxious about not seeing the kids. He's super anxious about how little he's been seeing the kids.
I think he straight up says, I haven't seen some of the kids for a long time.
5 days.
Which we later find out is 5 days. Or
Yeah.
he volunteers 5 days. But at first, he just says, I haven't seen some of the kids for a long time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how do you refer to your own children as people you don't see for a long time? Because they might live a mile away, 2 miles. I mean, Meri's only like a mile away from the furthest person, I think, if I remember correctly. So we're not talking about like, I got to drive an hour to see my kids. Like, it's literally down the road.
Plus, the way they've been selling it this entire season is that, yeah, the families don't get together as much, but the children are still going from house to house. So the children have to tell them where they're going to be because they're not just going next door, they're going a mile away. So that's where the issue has been with the kids, is that they still want to be going house to house, but the parents need to keep track of the kids more. They're here, they're there. So in my mind, I'm like, how are you not seeing some of these kids for so long when supposedly they're all going
to everybody's
To
homes.
everybody's
I mean, because
homes.
Meri would basically be the outlier, right? Like Meri lives the furthest away from these houses. She has one child who is driving. I'm not sure if Leon's driving, but I can see how the kids would bebop around more between Janelle and Christine's house for sure. Maybe even Robyn's at this point. We have our suspicions. We have had suspicions confirmed from Christine's book later that Cody's already spending the majority of his time at Robyn's house. So the kids, I'm guessing, are not going over to Robyn's house.
I feel like it's important to mention Christine's book in moments like this because we're trying to hearken things back. And for people who haven't watched these for a very long time and are still watching the show currently, maybe we can shed a little light on where they're at right now and moments from her book specifically where this is obvious in this special time in their lives.
Special time in their lives.
Special time where they're disconnected and a little bit.
And how when Cody's not seeing his kids for a long time, I just can't even imagine saying that sentence out loud. Unless you're literally separated from your children by a long distance. I travel for work. I'm gone half the month. I haven't seen my kids in a long time. That's a real sentence to say. You live a mile away at the most. I mean.
Yeah. So in Christine's book, she talks about how her house is spitting distance from Robyn's and she can see Cody's car constantly at Robyn's. And she is telling Meri and she's telling Janelle, he's always over there. He's always over there. But obviously the wives aren't communicating enough to know, oh, Janelle knows he's not at Meri's. Janelle knows he's not at Christine's. They aren't communicating enough. It's like a bad sitcom.
Yeah.
Because Christine is trying to tell the other two, he's here, he's here. I can see him there. And they're not believing her.
Right.
They're literally not believing her.
Yeah.
They're gaslighting her at this point. And she says that she wanted to get closer with Robyn, but she felt like she couldn't even just pop over to Robyn's or go and talk to Robyn, even though she lived so close because Cody was there. And she would feel like she was intruding on their time.
Yeah.
Just popping over and then your husband is there. It's so weird when he's talking in this interview saying he hasn't seen his kids in so long. I could tell looking at Christine's face that she's irked.
Yeah. Yes.
Because she knows what's going on right now.
Oh my gosh, so many moments of that or adjacent to that in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not even getting into the details of what Cody says to her that we will get into.
Ugh.
But just like the wives averting eye contact, the wives looking different places, the almost like I'm not going to express, I'm not going to emote, I'm not going to do anything with my face right now, because it would probably be negative. So it's like that struggle to do nothing in a sense. It's, yeah. Ugh.
Well, in the interview, like Q&A episode that we just had, and who knows what order that's in, who knows if that's before this or after, who knows when that's shot.
Yeah.
But there was so much tension in that room and so much belittling and talking down to the wives. And that happens again in this episode while they're having this discussion.
Yeah, we definitely get some more of Cody's true colors in this upcoming conversation.
For sure.
He's been pretty, I'm not going to say he's done extraordinarily well, but he's done pretty well. He's done okay. He's met expectations when it comes to misleading everybody about who he is. Like he's a grandstander, he's a showboat, he's putting on his thing, he's putting on an act. And we're seeing more and more of the cracks and more of the who he really is, and how he speaks to these women is very telling.
He's been able to pull the wool over people's eyes until these last 2 episodes.
You're like, there's no wool over my eyes.
There's no wool over my eyes anymore.
Yes.
And I knew that this was coming. I knew he spoke to them this way. And there have been moments throughout the first 4 seasons now where you're like, oh my God, this guy's an idiot. But it comes across as just a foolish man making innocent mistakes because he's a man and he's a dopey man that just doesn't get it right sometimes. Gosh darn it. But now we're seeing him belittle, talk down to, mansplain, literally talk to them like they're children. The faces he makes in this episode when speaking to them or behind their backs, the facade is crumbling.
Yes, absolutely.
Cody says, yes, let's put an offer in on the home and tell the kids we're putting in an offer on the home. Who's in? And then the wives draw him back into why they're there, which is to have a fucking discussion, dumbass.
Yeah, there's like this. It's a little hard to go through this conversation because, as they do in so many episodes, there's so many cuts to them on the couch and them in interview conversations where it's just like, oh my God. Cody says at some point, like, we need to keep doing our marketing businesses. And this is in like a couch moment, including this is why we need to get my sister wife's closet live to make money for the new houses. And it's like, okay. That transitions into him referencing how if they have to give up some things to afford the homes, then they should. Like vacations is one thing that he suggests, but he's basically suggesting they be house poor. Straight up.
Yeah. And Christine says that she is nervous about being mortgage poor because they have been mortgage poor before and it wasn't good. And she was worried about how she was going to put food on the table in those times. And you can tell she's very nervous here. But they get to the restaurant and the whole point is to have this discussion. And then Cody's all gung ho and in on it. And then it's like drawn back in and then they start the discussion.
Yes, that is true.
It's so fucking weird. Like he just wants them all to agree with him right away. And then when Christine brings up how she's nervous, it's like, oh, yeah, we were here to have a discussion. Oh, okay, let's discuss it.
It is true. It's like he's like, I'm going to give my couple bullet points and then we're going to vote. It's very him-centric. Of course, the discussion is for them to sit there and listen to him for 20 seconds and then agree with him. Like, okay, we're actually here to talk. And when you said Christine talks about how the finances scare her, they make her nervous. She gives us an example about how when they were broke, living in Lehigh because they couldn't actually afford that house. Like they barely could make it work. And she says she didn't get to visit her dad for years because they didn't have any money. And, you know, she was at the time, I mean, she gives examples in her book and I'm not sure if they discuss her like moonlighting on the show, but she would work like nights or like, you know, when she wasn't watching everybody's kids while they were at work, then she'd go work too. Even though she was the stay-at-home mom, she was working. Like, these people had no money at all.
They sell her in this show as the one who has always been the stay-at-home mom and not worked.
Yeah.
And that is bullshit. She has had jobs and just worked odd hours to bring in money.
It's weird. And to be in that place where your 9 to 5 as a responsibility is to raise these people, to watch these people's children, to raise these people's children during the day because they're out earning money. Okay, cool. But then after that, to go out and work because there's not enough of it. And, you know, I can't say that it's not necessarily part of her fault because at the beginning, there's times in the show where she's like, you know, bring home the bacon and I'll fry it in the pan. Like she plays into the role. Like she doesn't make it sound like, no, I worked. Like she doesn't stand up for herself in that way. But it's still just weird that that's an overall thing, you know?
They completely cut that out for her and make the trope that she's never worked. And so they kind of make it seem like she shouldn't have as much of a decision in things because of it. When, honey, she was homeschooling, she was working beyond 9 to 5. That's the thing when you are a stay-at-home mom, you're working, but you're also just working 24/7.
Right.
Because you don't get time off. Just because your spouse comes home doesn't mean that they take over the kids for the rest of the evening without
Cody.
you. No. Right. So she's working on top of working. And they sell her as the stay-at-home mom that has never worked. And they do her a grave injustice. And she does not stand up for herself. You are right. She lets the trope play out.
I wonder so many times throughout this show how much of the element of them having the show rules some of these decisions. You know, it has to be so significant because The way they even talk about saving relationships down the road. We have to save, look at what we have. And it's like, all you have is a show. Like at some point, all they have is the show. They don't even have relationships anymore. It's hard to know how much is danced and revolved around them being on a show at this point. It still seems to me like at this point, it's like we're getting glimpses into their life and like we're following their journey. It doesn't, Meri's pregnancy bit is totally a show thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something to point out.
I don't think that this conversation is a show bit. I think that they have such poor communication that it does play off like a bad sitcom sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're like, how could you not talk to each other about this? How could you not know that he is at this person's house? It's so baffling when you're watching it and it's just like somebody's running in place and the coyote's coming up on them and you see it from a mile away, but they don't see it.
Yeah.
And Cody here says that they could cut vacations out. And like you said, Christine talks about how she wasn't able to go and visit her dad for at least a couple of years when they were house poor before. And so she's worried about not being able to go and see family again, like her dad, for instance. And Cody flips the script and he says she is worried about the commitment of being next to each other. Does that make sense?
Right. So at this point, line that you're talking about, we have once again gone from the restaurant to like a couch moment. And so it's like they're reflecting back on this as we know it as viewers, right? So they're talking about something that's already happened. And Cody does say, you're scared of the commitment. Does that make sense? In the way that you're saying that, like, does that make sense? But I feel like to me as a viewer, it was another layer of awkwardness because it wasn't even in the moment at the restaurant. It's like, once again, he's had time to marinate on this. He doesn't have to even do this. But
he's thought this out. How can I twist this to make it a her problem, not an us or a me problem, that she's being selfish and that she can't make this commitment to the homes?
And what indication is there that Christine is scared of a commitment to live next to her sister wives?
Not at all.
Like, that is insane. If anything, she might not want to literally live below them. She was a basement wife in Lehigh. She might not want to share walls and be in the basement. But there has been no indicator that Christine's like, I could never live at the end of a cul-de-sac in a separate house next to my sister wives. Like, that is not... We as a viewer have no inkling that that's a thing.
No, he's trying to manipulate her, and looking at his face during this time on the couch where he's speaking at her, she's looking at him with this like blank stare on her face. Like, you're totally manipulating what I said. Like, I think in her mind, the wheels are turning like, this motherfucker. He is twisting my words right now and making it into something that's totally not true.
Yeah.
He's gaslighting her in front of everybody, and it's so obvious. It's obvious to the viewer. And for him to say, does that make sense? Like, I'm explaining your own thoughts to you, and does it make sense?
Right. Utterly bizarre.
God,
so
tell me how I feel.
To watch.
Tell me how I feel. They get back to the restaurant scene, and he tells her if she wants a vacation to save her grocery money. What the fuck?
Cody also has a habit, which we will discover later in the show, of referencing anytime anyone goes somewhere as a vacation. Okay, so visiting family, sure, it can be a vacation, but sometimes we all know visiting family is more of an obligation than a vacation. Like, you're going to see someone, and if you're broke especially, it's probably not a vacation. It's more of a burden. So to even phrase it like, if you need a vacation, you want to take a vacation, save your grocery money. Well, my God, it's so insensitive.
You piece of shit. I got your kids to feed, and I need to save my grocery money and not feed my kids if I want to do anything. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. That comment was so dirty to me.
Absolutely.
And gross. And then Robyn actually stands up for her. And this, I will say, this line that Robyn says, she looks at Cody and says, all you needed to do was assure her right now and say, I understand your concern. this is how we can fix it, or this is what we can do. And all you needed to do was assure her more. And he looks shocked and does like a clutches his pearls that Robyn said something to him. And then we cut to a commercial.
But what I love about this is our interpretations of this Robyn exchange, the differences in them.
Yeah.
Because I viewed this as an example of Robyn coaching Cody. Like, this is what you're supposed to do in these situations. She speaks Cody. She feels like she needs to translate for people. So when she's saying, this is when you say, I know it's scary, sweetheart, but isn't it worth it? It's like, okay, so you're just trying to get him to say a nicer version of what he was saying? And he looks at her with some kind of way. I don't even know how to describe how he was looking at her. But I think it's interesting that you were seeing it as like that she was positively coaching him or telling him what he should say that would be more nice or palatable or something. And I viewed it as like, oh my God, this girl is so kind of twisted. Like, this is what you should have said. And I don't think he needs the coaching from another wife on what to say to another wife. It's a little weird.
Well, and I looked at it more as like, hey, dumbass, this isn't something that you should say to your wife. Because, like, if we were out somewhere together and if my husband said something stupid or insensitive to me, you'd probably like give him a smack on the shoulder and be like, or if I was like, do I look fat in this outfit? And if he was like, yeah, you look like a heifer, you'd probably smack him and be like, this is where you tell her she looks gorgeous. And that's kind of what I felt from this moment, was she could tell that Christine was really upset because everyone's like looking and everyone's really quiet. And Christine has this like checked out, vacant, void look on her face. And he's speaking at her like she is a dog that needs to be put in her place. And then Robyn, in my mind, it felt like piped up and stood up for her. Like, hey, buddy, that's not what you should be saying when someone's telling you they're nervous or scared about something.
Sure.
So that's how I viewed it.
Yeah.
Now, I think if I knew all the manipulative stuff she'd done down the road, I might be viewing it as you're viewing it.
Yeah.
But I do think that Robyn started out with good intentions here sometimes. Like,
sometimes.
When I see things like this, when I see bits of dialogue between them like this, I don't think it was disingenuous. I think she's trying to do the right thing by them sometimes, and
this is it. I wouldn't say that my interpretation, I wouldn't back it up with some adamancy.
Right.
It's just observing this discussion and this conversation happening. I just had the like little hairs on the back of my neck stand up being like, this bitch. If I was married to someone, this is a whole nother dynamic. How do you sit with your husband and talk about something like this with his other spouses, and another spouse jumps in to say, this is how you should be talking to Chris? I would be like, what is happening right now? Like, because I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And it's, Robyn, Robyn's intentions. It's a mystery. It's all just a mystery.
I feel like if I were Christine and nobody had said anything and he just spoke to me like that, I would be more offended than somebody saying this. I think I'd be like, all right, good to know that literally nobody has my back, and they heard him twist my words and repeat a different thing back to me than what I actually said. Good to know that you all are seeing this too, huh? Like, I would be pissed.
Even as you're saying this, I am triggered by a relationship I've had with someone in my life before where they really like to tell me how I feel. They really like to tell me what I think. And it would be like, well, I know that you're just blah, 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 blah. And I would be like, I'm not even knee-jerk reaction upset that you're telling me how I feel. That's not even true. Like, I can tell you how I'm feeling. I can tell you what I'm thinking. I haven't even volunteered that. You think you know me so well. You do know me really well. This person did know me really well. And half the time could probably tell you what I would think about a situation. But that doesn't mean you just get to tell me what I'm thinking as in this kind of manner. It's manipulative, and I don't know about all the terms, but You don't get to tell someone this is how you feel and this is how you think. It's fucked up.
I don't need you to be my mouthpiece. Like, when you open your mouth, my voice doesn't come out, Cody. Like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Hate that.
It's gaslighting. This is like the definition of gaslighting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. A lot of people use that word now and like they misuse that word, but this is the definition of gaslighting, what he's doing to her.
You know, I try to avoid gaslighting and narcissists and things because everyone thinks, someone wronged me, they're a narcissist. It's like, it's just not true.
It isn't true
It's not
half
true.
the time.
Okay.
This is a very good example of gaslighting.
Okay,
Though. He's
okay.
literally twisting something that she said and making it into something completely different and then trying to convince her of his way and that's what she really thought.
So weird.
Yeah. It's gross. And as a viewer, I'm like, how could people not see this? That this is fucked up that he's doing this.
Yeah, I know. It was so blatant.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now let's cut to the vote. Okay, so we've had this little moment, and then we go back to the restaurant, and we've got Robyn, Janelle, and Christine. They say that they would support making an offer on the homes, on the properties, and giving earnest money to hold them. It's almost like a little round robin thing, but I feel like we didn't even get a good start to it. It's just like Cody's just like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And so they say they would. Not a lot of details. Then it gets to Meri. Mary's like, I don't know. It's like, oh my God, of course. Meri. Oh, Mare.
It's like production is going wife to wife and with each wife's issue as to why they haven't agreed yet. So first they go to Christine's little issues, and then they cut back to the restaurant and they go around and Christine reluctantly says, yes, I am in.
Yeah.
And then Mary's turn to put up a fight.
I don't know. Yes.
I don't know. Well, now we're going to go to the couch. And what
Back
do you
to the
have to
couch.
say, Meri? Why
Yes.
don't you want to do it now?
And Mary's crying again. More tears from Meri. I shouldn't be making fun of Meri. I cry all the time. But, it's just so funny when this is like we're at the restaurant and then literally cut to and she's literally crying. And it's like we don't even get a ease in. There wasn't even any foreplay. We're just like deep, balls deep in Mary's tears.
I noticed that her eyes look very, very bright blue, and it made me wonder if she has colored contacts.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
thought that a couple times about her too.
Yeah. She's crying because she's worried about people judging her for the size of the home that she wants with the one kid that she has and the fact that that kid is going to be leaving for college.
Yes. The judgment she feels like she'll get from many people, including her family, which is very important.
Including the family.
The family's going to judge her. Meri explains how she feels like she's been punished in the past because she only has one child. And this is family history going back a long time. It's about more than just Meri having one child. There's a whole bunch of shit, which Janelle will bring up and we'll get into. But, I don't really know how to read Meri sometimes because she's starting with this whole, like, I'm going to be punished because I only have one child. And I feel like she almost, like, volunteers the thing that she feels will be disarmed or will be the, like, what everyone is going to say. This is what they're going to say. And it's like, oh, I think you might be detracting from what people might really say, which is that they think you just want a big house. They think you want nice shit. Janelle thinks you can't budget for shit. And we'll get there.
We get Meri saying that, oh, this like, woe is me. People have punished me in the past. They think that I don't deserve as much as them because they have more kids than me. And so why should Meri have as much as we have? And she doesn't deserve all of that. And then Cody says he doesn't want her filling the void, the lack of children, with more bedrooms.
Yes. Well, Meri says, I feel like Cody thinks I just want a 7-bedroom house. That's all I want. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's also funny with this show because of the examples. Like, why are we talking about a 7-bedroom house for
That's
a woman who has
ridiculous.
one child and a quarter of a husband? Like, this is just ridiculous. But also, then Cody tries to jump in with his reassurance, and I'm putting reassurance in quotes. He wants Meri to recognize that he also has a say. And he's doing this as a gesture of like, listen, Meri, I want you to have the house that you deserve, and I'm your husband and I should get a say too. And it's like, please,
I should have
Cody.
a say too. And then she says that she kind of does this like thing where she maybe like quits her crying a little bit. Well, I might just want a wet bar or a deck. Like, I don't want 7 bedrooms, but perhaps a wet bar or a deck would tide me over.
Very important to emphasize the wet bar and a deck.
And then I thought to myself, did you just throw a temper tantrum? Did you just pretend that this was about this whole other problem so that people would cave to you so that you could have your wet bar and your deck, Meri? What?
No, she would never do anything like that.
Because then Janelle says that she has always kind of thought that they should conserve and that Meri should have to conserve more because Meri has spent money that they didn't need to spend. And she kind of gets into her mindset behind why she thinks that Meri should taper back on the spending a bit.
Right.
And it makes sense logistically. Like, yes, the people with more kids are going to be spending more money. So if you can, live within your means a little bit more so that they can have a little bit more, if you are this big family that you say you are, then yes, you would want to give to those that have more needs and less than you because they have more needs. But then I get her side where it's like, no. She is putting in all of the effort and the time and has worked and is on the show and deserves to get paid the same as everyone. And just because they have more kids doesn't mean that they deserve more. So I get both sides here.
Before Meri talks about how she might want a wet bar and a deck, which is gold. It is gold. It is precious, precious gold. Meri says, I want to have the conversation to Cody about the house, but only with you, not with other people's input and their opinion of what I get with less children, which is setting us up for this whole, the number of children talk and like ushering in Janelle's points about conserving and doing whatever. And Meri has an interesting rebuttal where she says, yes, but I take care of my things so they last longer. And it's like, you can tell this is a long time. This conversation has probably been happening for 20 years or something. It's been going on for a long time. Like, Meri has her bullet points on why she should have a nice coffee table because it gets taken care of. The kids don't spill on it. The kids don't do whatever. I take care of my things, which is basically I don't know. Is it a masked insult to Janelle? I don't think it's very masked. Like, you don't take care of your shit, which she doesn't. I mean, Christine's house, she was busy raising some kids and working. She wasn't busy cleaning, let me tell you. Like, that house was a disaster. So, Meri's probably like, I keep my shit nice, so I spend money on things and it's nice.
Christine does apologize to her in this moment, though. And she says, I have thought that in the past. I have had those thoughts in the past. And then I've thought about it. And I'm sorry, Meri.
Yeah.
I have had those thoughts before. And you're right. You don't deserve less than us because you have less children than us. And then Janelle kind of backtracks and says that she doesn't want her to feel judged for having one child. And that she doesn't think that she deserves less just because she has one child as well. And then we hear again from sobbing Robyn.
But before we go into Robyn, I just want to point out that in this exchange somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, is when Meri apologizes to Janelle. I think it's when Janelle was talking about we had to conserve and we had to do whatever and you didn't. And Meri's like, I'm sorry, Janelle, that you thought that I was taking things that belonged to you. And it was so, these people have such, these wives, these people have such deep hurt and things that have not been addressed for so long. Because even Meri's apology to me didn't read like it didn't sound like a real apology. It was like, I'm just going to point out that, I'm sorry for taking things that you thought were yours. Like, oh my God, like these people are just the passive aggressiveness and the it's almost like, aren't these moments to actually have some real vulnerability and to build some real connection in your relationship and mend some things and move forward? And it's like, they're all just kind of, Christine does apologize. It did seem legitimate. She has a way of talking that's a little almost too matter of fact for the time. It almost seemed a little insensitive. Like, I'm sorry for thinking you needed a smaller house. And it's like, oh God, you could have probably phrased that a little more gentle because you are apologizing.
Yeah.
But Meri, I mean, my God, the whole sorry that you thought I took things from you. It's like, oh my God.
It's so all over the place, this conversation.
It really
it's
is.
so back and forth between everybody. And she's just like getting defensive, but also crying. And you can tell some of these things they've been thinking about. Oh, while they're washing their hair in the shower, this is what I should have said.
This
And
is what I
next
should have
time when I get a chance to say this, this is what I'm going to say.
Mary's apology reminded me of when someone apologizes for like, well, I'm sorry if you feel like I blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're apologizing for my feelings now? Like, that's not what you need to be apologizing for. Like,
Oh, no.
whoa.
When somebody says that, they're not apologizing. I'm sorry that you feel that way. They're not apologizing for their behavior. They're saying, well, your reaction isn't what I expected, and
Sorry
that
about
sucks.
that. Yeah.
And that's what
It's
she
true.
did here.
It's so true.
Oh, boy.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you when you were talking about the Robyn point, because that is what we're coming up to.
Oh.
Robyn, sobbing, cry brows. Here we are.
Another
Robyn.
yuck moment from Robyn. She brings up the surrogacy, of course, because why not?
Oh my
Has
God.
to be brought up.
Robyn.
And then Robyn starts a sobbing. So she brings up the surrogacy. And then she goes, I just wonder what her life would be like if she'd had more kids. And would it be more fulfilling? And what if she had a little boy that was running through her house and then scratched his name into some of her nice furniture? Maybe her furniture wouldn't be so nice if she'd had more kids running through her house. No.
Your reenaction right now is, it's so precious. It's literally making me cry.
She is crying when she's talking about this and she's putting her hand
my
out
God.
and and that's why I brought up the surrogacy because I know how important my children are to me and how much they mean to me. And
Is it
by
another chance
golly.
for me to bring up what I offered
Yeah.
you, Mary?
Another
I just
chance.
love the idea, the visual I had of a little boy running through a room and like scratching his name into a coffee table. I was like, fuck yes.
What child
Oh.
scratches their name into their parents' like kitchen table or
Yeah.
coffee table?
It's so good. It's
You
so
do that
good.
like a normal child and you crawl under your bed and you do that in the floorboard, you motherfucker.
or in a closet.
Where
yes,
they
like,
can't see it.
it's so silly. I mean, it's so great because even when watching this, like Robyn's working herself up. She's getting herself all
yeah.
upset by sharing this, and she really just wants this for Mary. Mary does not get any more emotional, I noticed. I shouldn't say that. I looked at her at the beginning of Robyn's breakdown and then at the end, and she doesn't look any changed. Like she doesn't look any more sad or like she's touched. She's just kind of like watching.
No, because I'd be offended if I were her.
This is it.
I'd be like, because I have less love in my heart because I only have one child, you bitch. Because you know how it feels to care about children more than I do just because you have more kids than me.
Right.
That doesn't track.
It's
That's not
so
fucking
bad.
true.
It's so bad. It's like, yeah, not only is this mildly offensive at best,
It is.
but like, what the fuck?
You're just saying to her everything that she fears. She fears
Yeah.
that the family thinks that she doesn't have
Yeah.
as much, love in her life or as much
Value.
because
Yeah.
she doesn't have children. And you're basically saying she's never going to know what it's like to be a mama because
Yeah.
she only has one,
Yeah.
not five.
Right.
Like,
And
bitch,
she's been
please.
integral in all of these children's lives that we raise as a
Yeah.
family. She has plenty of children that are not her bio child. And yet she's definitely lacking. And it's a continued thing with the production of the show. Like, can't we just get over this? Do we have to keep talking about it?
Yeah, it's just offensive at this point, and they don't get it. She
Yeah.
doesn't fucking get it. She
Nope.
doesn't get it.
No.
Yuck. Shut up.
Wow. Okay, so
Done
my
with you.
face hurts from laughing at your theatrical presentation, your version of Robyn crying. Thank you for that.
Oh, boy.
I think right now would be a great time to take a break.
Yes.
There's still so much left of this episode to get through.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, ladies, gentlemen, theys, thems, boys, girls, and others, we are going to take a break. We're actually going to take a break right now. I'm probably going to go to the bathroom. And then we're going to drop the second part of this episode as a bonus, bright and early Thursday morning. 2 episodes in 1 week.
The titillating little appetizer here, a little loose sushi roll appetizer.
When you said loose sushi, I was like, oh God, she's going to say loose stool again.
Don't have any loose stools. We'll be right back.
Yeah, hopefully my stool's nice and firm. Okay. Oh, God. We'll see you on the flip side.